Y'all know I love my hard rebuild challenges, but most of the time when I do a hard challenge, we start with a bad team and end up with a good one. But today, we are gonna have to try to stop the opposite from happening, because we are gonna be doing a rebuild where we cannot re-sign any players. So by the end of this team is probably gonna look entirely different, and it's gonna be super interesting to see how this team looks by the end of this. But I'm super excited to get into this. I'll explain all the rules in a second, but super quick, massive shout out to Zapstream for suggesting this for 50 days. Finally getting to it, but this is a great idea. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. This should be a ton of fun. But if you want a shout out like that one, just let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down in the comments. You probably won't have to suggest it 50 times, but be sure to let me know. And I have something super fun planned that is similar to this, but a little more extreme. We'll see how extreme we want to go based on how hard this is. But if you want to see that, let me know by leaving a like. And let's see if we can get to 3,000 likes, and if we do, it'll let me know again that you want to see that. It'll let me know to do more like this. And last thing, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to hit 60K very soon. Once we hit 60K, I have something special planned, and if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do, so be sure to subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into this rebuild, and the rules for this are pretty simple. Like the suggestion says, we can re-sign players in free agency, but obviously in free agency, other teams are going to be able to bid, so if we want to bring them back, they're going to be a lot more expensive. This is basically going to be the surviving the salary cap rebuild. So obviously no re-signings and no franchise tag either. I thought about getting the advantage of one franchise tag throughout the rebuild, which, you know, if y'all want to see me do this again, I definitely could next time, but I was like, that kind of goes against the rules of it a little bit. But those are really the only rules. Everything else we can just do whatever we want. It's just, if we want to bring any of these players back, we're really going to have to overpay. So we're likely not going to bring many of them back. But without further ado, let's get to the midseason point. I'm going to make this year one quick, because there isn't going to be much that happens. So let's get to the midseason point. Or should we just get to the end of the year? You know what? We'll just get to the end of the year. Okay, well, unfortunate start. We finished 10-7, but we missed the playoffs. Great. Awesome. Let's go super quick over the season stats. Geno was okay. Kenneth Walker was pretty good. Tyler Lockett 1,000 yards, but he was our only 1,000-yard receiver. JSN did better than DK. Okay, sure, whatever. Charles Cross was bad, but I've seen him allow like 20 sacks in a season, so we'll take this gladly. And then on defense, Byron Murphy, 8 sacks as a rookie. 6.5 for Nwosu. Really not much pass rush outside of Murphy. And then Trey Brown led the team with 3 picks. And then 1 for 4 different players. 0 for Devin Witherspoon. 1 for Tariq Woolen. 0 for Julian Love. This is a certified Madden simulation moment. That's all I can chalk that up to. But MVP goes to Mahomes, of course. I highly doubt we're going to be up here for any awards. Okay, well, JSN up there for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Not a rookie anymore. Can't change it because game bad. I've been over this a million times. Y'all know the deal. What? Oh yeah, the Commanders just don't like keeping Jerzon Newton in this game for whatever reason. Byron Murphy all the way down at 6. I thought he had a chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but no. Definitely an interesting first year. I thought we would do horribly, but why couldn't we be in the AFC? The Colts and Browns went 9-8 and made the playoffs, and the Chargers went 8-9 and made them. This game hates me. But all right, let's get into the interesting part here. Let's get into this first offseason, and we really don't have many re-signings for this first year, but we will next year. Next year is when the real contracts start. Because again, long story, you can't change contracts in Madden outside of franchise. Y'all know the deal. But in the Super Bowl, we have a Robert Saleh rematch, I guess. I mean, he loses, but yeah, the 49ers win 37-31. That's a very, very possible Super Bowl this year. Maybe. I mean, the Jets will probably get injured again, but if they don't, that's a possible Super Bowl. But of course, like I said, 4 re-signings, we have next to nothing. Just Mike Jackson, Darrell Taylor are the most important ones, which aren't even that important. So we're getting off easy this year, pause, but there are really no free agents usually in year one, so it kind of balances out. It's mostly just real life free agents. And I don't think we're going to do anything here. Yeah, there's like nobody I want. So let's get to the draft, and the drafts are going to be pretty important. These drafts are pretty much how we're going to build this team. We'll be able to sign a few free agents, but we're going to become pretty tight in terms of cap space. Again, again, big pause, but that's the wording I went with for some reason. But in the draft, we pick at number 18, and it looks like a pretty good draft class. We might have gotten lucky here. Ooh, there is a top 5 receiver still available. I mean, we don't need a receiver, but he doesn't look that bad. But I think I'm going to go with a safety here. This looks like a very good safety class. There's Carlos Buckley, who is slow, unfortunately, but A-man. Max Yancey also is A-man, only C to F pursuit, though, is a little faster. Okay, the more I look at these safeties, I should have checked their speed, because, okay, well, actually, I take that back. Harvey Crawford ran a 4.37, elite speed, great strength, 20 bench reps, A-man, A play rec, A tackle, A to C awareness, and pursuit. I think he's gonna be the pick. Ooh, Micah Ridley also looks very good. Not as fast, but still looks like maybe an 80 overall. Even John Leno, very fast. No A ratings like the others, but lots of Bs. This is like one of the best safety classes I've seen in a long time, and usually they're way too strong. But we'll go with Harvey Crawford, of course. Let's take him. Hidden dev, as I would hope. 94 speed, 91 excel, sounds good. Again, these early picks are huge. And let's see, there was a good center at the top of the board here, but he's gone. But there is still Kevin Gilmore, first to second round talent, so I think we might go with him. But yeah, Kevin Gilmore, first to second round talent, good value, we'll take him. Hidden dev, 85 strength, 69 speed, nice. And then last pick I'm gonna show, what do we want to do? Ooh, there's some good corners still. Jalen Watson, there are gonna be 2 of those now. I mean, spelled a little different, but also Pac-12, rest in peace Pac-12. And Abdul Brockers, I don't love his man, but B awareness, A zone, 4.35 speed. This is a really good first draft class. We needed it. God, do I take the chance on Brockers or do I just go Watson? I'll go Watson because he is a scheme fit. Actually, who's younger? Ooh, Brockers is only 21 and he's from Mississippi State. So was the safety. Should we pair up teammates? Yeah, sure. That's probably a good strategy for a secondary. I mean, chemistry can be a huge part of a good secondary, so maybe normal dev, but we'll take him. No, he does have hidden 94 speed, 92 excel. I think we did pretty well in this first draft. We'll see. Okay, but here's how we did in the draft. Harvey Crawford, unsurprisingly, an 81 overall. I thought he could even be better, but I always forget how disappointing A-man coverage is. I mean, 77's really good for a rookie, obviously, but I always expect it to be a little like an 80, 81 or something, but still really good. He also has 92 hit power. Damn. Also 78 tackle at safety. He's a really good run defender. Kevin Gilmore is a 75. That was a really good pick. And then Abdul Brockers, I was a little worried because of his man coverage, like I said, and we're probably going to have to develop him as a slot so he can gain that man coverage, but 77 overall, 94 speed, 81 zone. This was a pretty good draft to start out. Now, it fell off a little bit. I made these 3 picks. They were decent. Will Odom was one of these weird players where they have good power moves, but 57 or 56 block shed, 71 strength. I'm surprised he didn't go up at outside linebacker. I guess just the block shed, but you think that would be a little worse at defensive end. I don't know. He was a 71 at defensive end, by the way. Either way, though, really good first draft. I actually want to see where Crawford ranks in the class. Okay, tied for second in terms of overall. The number 1 pick was an 81 overall QB, Walt Boss, to the Giants. God, I hate that haircut. Ugh. Lots of 80 pluses in this class, but nobody like absolutely insane. No like 84 pluses. But anyways, very good draft, but we're gonna soon be out of the easy part of this rebuild. But let's get a quick look at the team heading into year 2, and it's gonna be interesting to see how we do. Okay, we are looking pretty decent, only an 80 overall, but really we don't have many issues with this team. I mean, problems might arise during the year, but really the only thing I'm worried about on offense is, again, Charles Cross. I'm not gonna miss him when we can't re-sign him. In real life, he's a good player, just there are a lot of players in this game where I say they might be the worst performing player in Madden, but Charles Cross is up there. I'm expecting, let me try and predict it. I'm gonna guess 16 sacks allowed this year. That's my prediction. But this defense, very well-rounded. Like, most of our players on defense are between like an 80 and an 82. A few exceptions, but this should be a good defense. Now, will it be? Probably not. I think this is gonna be a down year, unfortunately, but we're just getting started anyways. But again, let's get to the midseason point. Well, I guess not again. This year we will get to the midseason point because this is the first year where we are gonna have some, I guess I would call them re-signings, but some losses. We'll call it that. Okay, well, we are once again 3-3. I guess I never showed, but last year we were 3-3 at the midseason. The contracts are worse than I expected. Let me just say this. We are not gonna have any quarterbacks, any receivers, or any linebackers, I don't think, after this year. These are the contracts. Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Boye Mafe. I'm not even gonna name them. You see all of them. It's like our entire team. There's no point in me naming off of them. It would be easier to name the players who aren't here, which is not many of them. I thought it would be a little more spread out than this. I didn't realize how many of the Seahawks contracts are coming up at the end of 2025. Now, a couple of those contracts expired in 2024. I didn't really feel like changing them last year, but they will expire here. We're gonna have to have a good free agent class, I will say that. On a positive note, though, I did see this while I was changing the contracts and getting them right. Crawford has X Factor, so that's cool. That's one positive. I didn't think he would, to be honest. I just always assume players are gonna have star. I don't know why, but he does have X Factor, so that's cool. That's something. Man, this is gonna be tough. But let's get to the end of the year. Really not much else for us to do here. What do I even set for the focus position? I guess I'll have to set interior O-line or D-end or something, but we could use, like, literally everything. So let's get to the end of the year. Okay, well, I really didn't think we would make the playoffs this year, but we literally just had a repeat of last year. We were 3-3 at the midseason, and we finished 10-7. But the difference this year is we made the playoffs. That's huge. I am glad we did, because I am assuming we will not make them next year. If we do, it'll be a miracle. Well, we'll have to see once we get into free agency. It's not over. We still could do well next year. It just depends who's available in free agency. But let's check out our season stats. Geno Smith was good, I guess, but only 3,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 4 picks though. He was good, I guess, just low numbers, but low numbers including interceptions, so that's cool. Kenneth Walker, really good year. No 1,000-yard receivers. I mean, that'll happen when you only pass for 3,200 yards. Okay, Charles Cross wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. Only 12 sacks allowed, which is still awful, but it's better than the 16 I predicted. The rest of our line was amazing. Super glad most of them are going to be leaving. And then 117 tackles for Jerome Baker led the team. TFL's 15 for Murphy, 14 for Williams, 12 for Franks as a rookie, 11 for Mafe, and sacks, 8 for Boye Mafe, and that was about it. Again, super glad we're going to be losing Boye Mafe this year. That's great. And then interceptions, 4 for Abdul Brockers as a rookie. I'm surprised he played as much as he did. I guess he was our right side cornerback. Yeah, 900 snaps, but 2 picks for Baker and Dodson, 1 for Crawford and Woolen, 0 for Witherspoon this year. He played over 1,000 snaps, so that's not great. But let's check out yearly awards super quick. Josh Allen wins MVP this year. We'll probably get like number 2 for defensive rookie of the year, and we'll probably lose to a division rival. That's my guess. That's my pessimistic guess, but it is my guess. Okay, Walt Boss does win offensive rookie of the year for the Giants, and defensive rookie of the year goes to, okay, we aren't even close. Shaq Watson for the Vikings wins it. Brocker's all the way down at 6. Interesting. Oh yeah, wait. Okay, well, Crawford at least had 1 pick, sack and a half, 4 TFLs, 89 tackles. Decent rookie year, but not good enough to be up there for defensive rookie of the year. How did we go 10-7? I don't think we were that good. We were 29th for yards and 23rd for defensive yards allowed. We were good in everything else on defense, but our offense was kind of terrible. I guess we only gave the ball away 4 times though. Really, we had no fumbles either. No fumbles lost. That's insane. But anyways, we have a first of many scenario here. I'm scared for this offseason. We'll go play it cool. We don't really deserve to win this game. That was the sun. That was cool. What was I saying? I get distracted easily. Oh yeah, I don't think we're gonna win this game, but we don't really deserve to. The Eagles have 4 overall on us. I guess we're at home, but like, they're the better team. Let's be real. Let's see what happens though. Usually the worst team does win in simulation, except this time the Eagles beat us 35-31. Understandable. But let's get into the first hard off season. Now, like I said earlier, we can bring some of these players back in free agency, but unless it's a really strong free agent class, all of our players are going to be the hot commodities. I mean, it's literally like our entire roster. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. But the Eagles actually win the Super Bowl here. That's interesting. They don't usually win. I guess they do win Super Bowls, but it's better than just seeing the Ravens, Packers, Chiefs, or Cowboys every year. But now it's time to possibly say goodbye. What's our overall gonna be? But yeah, it's time to say goodbye to, like, our entire team. We won't even have Sam Howell anymore. This is gonna suck. All right, let's get into free agency. We're gonna have some work to do. We're gonna hope it's a good free agent class. Okay, we're only an 85 overall. Part of me doubts that. It's probably just because we don't have a player at most positions, so it doesn't know what to count. Actually, we could be a 75, I guess. I don't know about that one. Oh, JT Franks has X Factor. You know, I look for like really fast speed rusher defensive tackles late in the draft. I feel like a decent amount of them have X Factor. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them do. There's a maybe pro tip there. I don't know. I guess it depends on if you use just strong draft classes, which, like I do. But I feel like there are a decent amount of them for some reason. God, this team looks horrible. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but let's get into free agency. Let's see what we can do. Okay, it actually might be a decent free agent class. Unsurprisingly, it is mostly our players at the top, although not really. Just a couple of them. Then the rest are kind of spread through the rest of it. What do we want to do? I think we're gonna need a QB because I didn't set QB as our focus position. This is gonna be the rare time where I kind of talk through an entire free agent class instead of just deciding myself and then showing what we're gonna do, because this is important. This is the entire roster. I think we're gonna go with Sam Howell because he is younger than Geno and doesn't have nearly as many offers. I guess it depends on what his other offer is, though. Okay, it's not a very strong one. We'll even go team friendly. 3 years, 31. Oh, it's not in the green, though. How about 4 years, 43.6? That is in the green, so he could possibly be our starter. Maybe. Now, we do need a running back pretty desperately. I have seen Zach Charbonnet do pretty well at times, though, but pretty soon we're not going to be able to bring him back. Jalen Warren's terrible in the... Oh, no. He was actually pretty good. The year before, not great, but I don't trust him. He's a scheme fit, though, and interested, and a lot cheaper than Javonte. We'll give Jalen Warren a chance. 4 years, 26. We'll see. But DK's one of the players I might want to go for, one of our really good ones. We need a number one receiver. He's still only 27 with Superstar, but oh, we do get the lead for him. We could bring him back. I think he's the only receiver we'll go for, though. It looks like the Cardinals cut Michael Wilson here for some reason. Why? Ooh, Joshua Palmer's here. He has star dev, but I think we would be fine drafting a third receiver. Noah Fant, I'll bring back. He's not very expensive, assuming we can. It looks like we can. This O-line's gonna be an issue, though. Paris Johnson's also here for some reason. Okay. I'll figure out the O-line myself, but we'll try to get Zadarius Smith. I mean, pass rush is gonna be a problem if we don't sign someone like him. Sometimes he's good in simulation, sometimes he's bad. We'll just hope that we get the good, and we obviously need linebackers. I'm trying not to re-sign too many players, because the point is we don't re-sign players, but I guess not really. It was that we can't re-sign players until free agency, which I think is fair. So you know what? Let's offer Jerome Baker a deal. It looks like he already has an offer from the Colts. You know what? We'll let the Colts steal him. We'll say that's fair. Let's go for Ernest Jones. He's only 25 still here, and he's at least a little bit interested. And is there like another super young, decent linebacker? Not really. We might just draft one. Ooh, Tariq Woolen doesn't have any offers. I think I'm gonna bring him back. Let's add Reed Blankenship. Julian Love hasn't been great so far. We could bring him back, but I mean, he has no interceptions so far. He had 0 pass deflections this year. Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, this is gonna be our free agent class. Like I said, we're gonna bring a few players back, but definitely some new faces in here. It could also be a strat to like not sign any players, because our team's gonna be bad and expensive. We'll see. It could actually be decent. It depends. It's also not a guarantee that we get all these players, but... Oh yeah, also, we're going to go for Joel Bitonio. I should mention that. That's a pretty important lineman. So let's see who wants to sign. Ooh. Okay, Joel Bitonio doesn't. I don't think we're going to get him. And Reed Blankenship doesn't. But we do get DK Metcalf back, Zadarius Smith, Jalen Warren, Tariq Woolen, Noah Fant, Ernest Jones, Abe Lucas, and Sam Howell. We'll take it. I don't think we didn't get anyone that we offered for, other than these two, obviously. Kenneth Walker got signed by the Rams. That's great. Tyler Lockett went to the Broncos. Boye Mafe went to the Chiefs. Julian Love went to the Jets. Goes back to New Jersey. Wrong team, but still. Geno went to the Commanders. Joins Bobby Wagner there, I guess. But yeah, Joel Bitonio and Reed Blankenship we're not going to get. How about Wyatt Teller? He's also here because the Browns are poor. I probably have more money than the Browns do cap space right now. I mean, they probably have like negative 20 mil or something, so I would hope so. Close, but I have have a little more. I don't know. I don't want any of these linemen. Brandon Sheriff, I guess. How's he done? I don't get him much in rebuilds because he's old. Only 1 sack allowed in each of the 2 last years, I guess. Let's see if he signs, and he doesn't. That's awesome. He goes to the Ravens. All right, let's get to the draft. But this year in the draft, we pick what? 1 pick later? We had 18 last year. We have 19 this year. We're getting better. I mean, we won't be next year, but I guess we were better this last year than the year before by 1 pick. But this is an interesting draft class. It is nowhere near as good as last year for our positions of need, unfortunately. It's a fine safety class. It is okay, but it isn't that good. It is a okay receiver class from what I've seen. I will say I really like Montrell Ridley, though. I think he's going to be our pick. There are other pretty good... Ooh, Jimmy Knowles. There's so many, like, 1950s ass names in Madden draft classes. This is one of them. Derek Whitlock, he looks decent. Monty Davis looks good. Okay, this is actually a decent receiver class. I just wasn't looking close enough. I never do. I'm lazy, so I'll, like, look for a split second, and if nothing catches my eye, I'll just skip past them, but I need to not do that. Ooh, Brandon Cousins looks really good. Wait, he's also a rare deep threat with non-D or F catching. He looks really good. What if we don't go with the receiver round 1 just because of him? That's probably not a great strategy. I still think we'll go with Montrell Ridley. He has elite acceleration, good speed. Usually you probably want to look for at least great change of direction for playmaker receivers, but he has the elite acceleration to make up for it in A spec catch, A catching, B medium route, B deep route, B short route, A to B awareness. I can't speak right now. I don't know why. He looks good. Probably normal dev, but hopefully not. We'll take him. Okay, he does have hidden. Usually mid-first playmaker receivers have normal dev, but all I need to do is say that they will, and they won't. The game loves to prove me wrong, but I'm glad it did. Now we'll say it's probably star. I'm probably right about that, but might as well try to reverse jinx it, you know what I'm saying? But pick 2 here. I think we're gonna go with a lineman. It looked like another decent O-line class. I thought this guy was gonna be really good. Carlos Giraldo, interesting last name. Ooh, Charlie Abrams also looks really decent. Really decent. What a good descriptor. I don't know, he looks good. There is also Morgan Moulton, 1st to 2nd round talent. Torrey Spears, what's his strength? This guy could be really good. Okay, just solid strength, but still. We might have to go with like quite a few linemen here because we're gonna lose a lot of them. Well, actually, will we? I think Cross is our only starter that we don't have after this year, so we'll be fine, I think. But yeah, I really don't love the safety class. I might take one later if one looks decent, but we'll probably just get some Band-Aid free agent there. I don't know. Oh, actually, I wish I knew his coverage. I was thinking about Focus Scout and one of these guys. I just don't normally like run support safeties, but maybe I should. But whatever, we'll go with one of the linemen. Let's go with Carlos Giraldo. Out of Michigan, sure. Hidden dev, only 84 strength, but 81 jumping. His jumping is almost as good as his strength. What an awful haircut too. Oh, okay, he's bald. I thought he had a I thought he had a mohawk with like an extremely shaved side of his head. You know what I'm trying to say. But again, last pick I'm gonna show here. Ooh, Josh Carson looks pretty good. Speed check, 4.4, 4.33 at his pro day. He's also a man corner, so we're gonna assume that's at least B man coverage. Do we need a corner? I don't remember. Nah, because I think we got Woolen back. We don't need a corner, but safety? I don't know. I don't know if this guy could play safety. What's his tackling? C tackle. Do we have a corner that could play safety? I don't know. Well, we do need a safety pretty bad. Should we do it? Yeah, sure. We do also need a linebacker. We still have a few needs. Like, we are not need free here by any means. But I think we can find a linebacker later. It looks like there are decent ones here. Like, Matt Reese looks okay. Kyron Northcutt. That's kind of a hard name. Wait, there are 2 Northcutts back to back. Thaddeus Northcutt, and they're both from Tennessee. Oh, I have to take them. Okay, these are gonna be our 4th and 5th round picks, assuming they're still here. The Northcutt brothers from Tennessee. We're gonna do that. But Josh Carson, we'll take him here. Normal dev, kill me. Whatever. That's like the first normal dev I've drafted so far, right? I don't know. I'm probably wrong. But I'm gonna take these linebackers. Which one do I think is better, just in case both get taken? Okay, Northcutt has elite speed, A awareness, B zone, B tackle. Did I just call him Northcutt? I'm super smart, by the way. And then Kyron Northcutt looks a little worse, but he does have A play rack, B pursuit. He's a better run defender, but we'll go with Northcutt. No, I just did it again. Thaddeus Northcutt first. Should we trade up so we can get both? You know what? I'm gonna trade up. I don't care. Give me both of them. We'll make them back-to-back picks. 5 and 6, sure, I don't care. Pick 422, let's go. I'm very mature, by the way. Kyron Northcutt, also welcome to the team. Hidden dev. This was a fun draft. This is like like the most fun draft I've had in a long time. Let's go. That's like the weirdest thing I've seen in a draft class in a long time too. But here's how we did in the draft. Ridley's decent. I thought he would be a little better. A 76 is still pretty good for the first round. That's probably mid-first talent, and that's where we took him. Actually, let me count. Let me see. Let me do the math here. A 76 is, I guess, tied for 11th. So yeah, that was good value for sure. Ooh, Jimmy Knowles was also a 76. So I guess we couldn't have really gone wrong there. I guess it depends on what his dev trait is. But Geraldo's a 75. He's good. And then Josh Carson is even better than I expected. I wish he had a dev trait, but he is a 79 overall. It looks like he did have a man, though. He has 81 man coverage, 93 speed, 93 excel, of course, 76 zone. Looks really good. And then Thaddeus Northcutt, or Thaddeus. I'll just say Thaddeus because I think that's how Randy Moss's son's name is said, so we'll just go with that. It's a weird name. Just go by Thad or something. You don't need to be doing all that. But yeah, he's a 72, and Kyron Northcutt was actually the better of the two. He was a 73. I mean, it was so close. Who cares? But both were good, and then I took Roman Bartel. He was a projected UDFA. He's whatever. He had like a something. It must have been impact block. I don't even remember. Once we get to the 7th round, I don't care anymore. But yeah, another very solid draft. Nobody too insane other than the corner. Just actually, the corner was a top 5 player in the class. Tied for 4th in terms of overall. So that was a really good pick. Just no dev trait. Unlucky. But let's get into year 3, and we might not be as bad as I was fearing just a few minutes ago. We're not going to be great, but we might be decent. But here's a look at the team. We're actually surprisingly good. 83 overall, which is the highest overall we've been so far. We'll see how Sam Howell does as a starter. I'm like wondering if we should change our playbook. We might. I don't like the Seahawks offense in this game. It's horrible. Maybe one of the worst. I mean, it's arguable. It's up there. I'm not going to go full Chiefs yet. Let's go with one that I used recently and it worked pretty well. If I can find it. Cincinnati. There we go. So we'll see how it does. I have no idea, but hopefully our offense does better. And then here's the defense. We are going to start the Northcutt brothers. We'll see how they do. I also moved Brockers to free safety. He went up from an 80 to an 82. I mean, I guess that makes sense. He's a very good zone cover DB, so makes sense. He also has decent tackle pursuit, hit power, so pretty good. But yeah, we really didn't get much worse. We upgraded. Now, this is going to be another year where we might lose some players, but I think we'll survive. But it might be a challenge. Ooh, I'm probably glad I changed the offensive playbook. We had 9 offensive points per game in the preseason. I mean, it was preseason, but preseason can be telling of how you're going to do in the regular season in this game. But let's get to the midseason point, and we will see how we do. But okay, we are 4-3 at the midseason this year, the best we've been so far after losing most of our team. So we'll take it. I was going to check for dev traits, but I should probably save that for the end of the year. We'll just reveal them all then. But who are we going to have to re-sign, or I guess not re-sign this year? Charles Cross, of course. Leonard Williams, that's tough. But honestly, it isn't nearly as bad as last year. It's just mostly players that I signed for depth. Michael Dixon, and then we're going to have 5th-year options. What should we do for 5th-year options? I guess that is extending them. I don't know. That's tough. I didn't really think about that. I think we passed up on Charles Cross's 5th year. I'm not going to pick him up, but next time I do this, let me know. Should I pick up 5th-year options or not? Because it's not really re-signing them. I don't know. That's tough. But once again, that's about all we have to do here. Let's see. Is there anyone struggling that we could bench? It looks like Sam Howell is doing pretty well. I almost called him Tutu Atwell because I don't know why. Jalen Warren's doing all right. Only 4 yards per carry, which isn't horrible, but that's not super great. Receivers are doing well. Charles Cross is doing bad as per usual. Geraldo's not doing great. He's doing worse. And then our pass rush isn't great. I mean, Byron Murphy's doing really well, but other than him, it's not great. I don't know if there's anyone bench worthy yet, but we'll see how we finish. But okay, here we are at the end of the year, and super quick, you know, if you've seen one of my videos before, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. Again, what did I even say? 3,000 likes? I don't remember what I said, but if you want to see me do this again, leave a like. It'll let me know you do want to see it. And it helps YouTube know that people are enjoying this video. It pushes it to more people. It sounds stupid, but it really does help. I would appreciate it. Again, subscribe for more, because goofy stuff like this is what I always do. The only thing I do. And let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down below. Can be something similar to this, or, I don't know, look at any video I have on the channel. Let me know anything fun you want to see. But here's a look at the team at the end of year 3. We actually got some pretty good dev traits. Geraldo has superstar dev. That's huge. Ridley only has star. That's what I expected. I tried to reverse psychology it, I guess. It didn't work, unfortunately. But one of the Northcuts has superstar dev. Kieran Northcutt, or probably Kyron. I don't know. Who cares? But that's huge. He could end up being a really good player. I guess it depends on how he did, but we'll see that in a second. But in year number 3, we finished 11-6, and we once again made the playoffs. We haven't finished worse than 10 wins at any point in this rebuild so far. We have done super well. Now, our offense was kind of bad. Maybe the Bengals playbook isn't it. We hardly had any rushing touchdowns, and our yards weren't that good. Our defense was pretty good, though. Our sacks were mid and our takeaways were mid, but everything else was pretty good. This feels like one of those seasons where there was one thing that really went wrong. Let's check out our season stats. So Sam Howell was definitely not the problem. Unfortunately, I set... This is a throwback to the Busts rebuild, which if you haven't seen that rebuild yet, that was a ton of fun. Go and watch that after this. This is kind of a throwback where I set quarterback as the focus position for this year. And in that case, Mac Jones did super well that year, so it ended up being pointless. But this year, Sam Howell did super well. Now, we'll take Sam Howell doing well for sure, but I might pull the same strategy here where we take a QB anyways, because I don't know if I trust Sam Howell. And Jalen Warren wasn't great. He did get 1,000 yards, but only 3.9 per carry. Rough. JSN led the team with 1,000 yards, though, 8 touchdowns, 900 for Metcalf, 800 for Ridley as a rookie. Blocking, I figured. Yep, our blocking was horrible. It was horrible in a weird way, though. Charles Cross was terrible, but Kevin Gilmore at center was arguably worse. 10 sacks allowed at center is crazy, and 6 sacks allowed at right guard is kind of crazy too, but only 2 allowed at right tackle. Abe Lucas has been insanely good this rebuild. I almost said this year, but you know what I mean. And then for tackles, nobody had even 100, which that's interesting, but I almost called him Northcutt. Thaddeus Northcutt had 98. Kyron Northcutt had 95. I almost said 35. I'm tired. I will not lie. TFLs, 19 for Murphy, 18 for Williams, 12 for Nwosu, 10 for Smith and Franks. We had a lot of TFLs. But sacks, 12 for Byron Murphy, 6.5 for Leonard Williams, 4 for Zadarius Smith. Kyron Northcutt had 3.5, and Chenna Nwosu only had 2.5. Great. Awesome. I love an off-ball linebacker getting more than one of our edge rushers. That's really cool. But for interceptions, Harvey Crawford led the team with 4, 2 for Spoon. I don't think I've ever called him that, but 1 for Woolen, Brockers, and Carson. So far, O-line wasn't the worst thing ever. I feel like we would have been really good this year. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure he had 51 passing touchdowns and like a 76% completion percentage. Jonathan Taylor all the way up at 7. We might have to check what those two did. Well, I know what Mahomes did, but Taylor at least. But nobody up there for Offensive Player of the Year. Byron Murphy at number 4 for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Montrell Ridley? Really? I mean, he was good, but he wasn't that good. I don't know. Oh, Brandon Cousins was up there for Offensive Rookie of the Year too. I was thinking about him. And Kyron Northcutt wins Defensive Rookie of the Year with Thaddeus Northcutt right behind him. That's too perfect. Josh Carson at number 8. Those two are just truly... Are they twins? They have to be twins. They don't look like twins, but... Should I make their faces the same? I might. This one bugs me for some reason, so I'll switch it to that face. We'll change Kyron... We'll make them twins, for sure. Because they're the same age. They're both 22. Was it that face? Yeah, so there we go. Now they're twins. But let's see. We have a playoff rivals scenario here for the playoffs. I almost forgot we were in the playoffs for some reason. We're unfortunately coming off a loss to the Cowboys. I mean, go figure. You always lose in week 18 in simulation, and you always lose to the Cowboys. But we will go chess match. That's what I always go with. I have no idea what's better to go with. I don't even know if there is a better one to go with, so whatever. But let's simulate this game against the 49ers. I don't have much hope, but I want to. Yeah, unlucky. We lose 27-17. But let's get into year 4. I don't know how many more years we're going to do. We're at least going to do a year 5, but we could go year 6. We'll see. This is going to be a longer one, so buckle in. Maybe not that long of a video, but long for me, at least compared to what I usually do. I'm a yapper, so all my videos end up being long anyways. But in the Super Bowl, interesting, the Colts destroy the Panthers 40-21. That's one I didn't expect to see. Those two teams do you know what? The Colts might be one of the better teams in this game. I never really bring them up, but they're usually in at least one Super Bowl in a rebuild, which is something. I mean, I think they'll be good, but they aren't necessarily one of the teams that come to mind first when I think of a great team, believe it or not. But we have upgrades for our rookies. Montrell Ridley's up to an 80, and does he get a dev trait? My guess is yes. I was definitely going to say yes. He does get superstar. I saw the ability slot as I was about to say no, but he does go up to superstar dev. That's cool. And then Kyron Northcutt, I mean, he already had superstar. Okay, so no, he doesn't get a dev trait. I kind of wish his brother won it so we would have 2 superstars instead of still a superstar and a star, but I guess we'll take the upgrade. I feel like defensive rookie of the year should be a little more than 1 upgrade. I mean, I know it depends on how well you do, but still. But of course, for re-signings this year, we're gonna have to say goodbye to all these players right here. Not gonna be fun, but we made it out well last year, so let's see who's available this year. I don't even know if we're gonna bring anyone back this year. I mean, we could, but let's see who's available. Oh, okay, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. It's a good receiver class. Very good. We definitely don't need Chris Olave right now, but we're gonna be losing JSN this year. So, I mean, I'm gonna do it. This might be insane, but what if we trade JSN? If we get Chris Olave, because we're gonna have, obviously, DK, we're gonna have Ridley, but I would probably want to start Ridley over JSN just because Ridley's under contract. We'll see. We'll try to sign Olave first before we trade JSN away, obviously. Let's look for a tackle, probably a running back, and maybe a pass rusher, but I don't know. This year I won't show as much what we're gonna do, but let me see who's available. Okay, but here's what we're gonna do. Like I said, Chris Olave is gonna be the main player, but we're also gonna go for Tyler Algier. We'll try to get another running back upgrade, hope that he actually does well. I don't know, we'll see. But also Tyron Smith, Andrew Van Ginkel, which will be interesting. It looks like he's actually done well. I think he's averaged like 9.5 sacks in the last couple years, last 3 years, so can't wait for him to get 4 with us. And then we'll just try to bring Leonard Williams back, but most of these players are new additions. So let's see who wants to sign, and we do get everybody, so that's like a first. And everybody here was interested. I didn't even really notice that. I mean, I did, but I didn't like think much of it. That's also maybe a first, but very good free agent class. And let's maybe work on a trade here. Okay, we're gonna be trading Jackson Smith-Njigba to the Jets for a 2nd round pick, which might be a bit much, but he's had good production here. He's still only 24, has superstar dev. I have no idea what he would go for in real life. I don't understand trade value because some players, ironically, like Leonard Williams, go for a lot more than I would expect. Some go for a lot less. I don't understand trade value. I try to, I just don't get it, but we'll take a 2nd. It's probably too much, but whatever. It'll be worth it for the Jets because he'll be like their number 2 receiver. They had like a 67 overall starting, so I would say that's probably worth it. But here in the draft, it's a really, really interesting one once again, more interesting than last year, and that is because of 1 player. Okay, well, 2 players actually. So there's a top 5 projected QB who's a day 3 talent, Riley Foster. I'm being very careful not to accidentally take him. I wish there was like a little confirmation button. He actually looks decent on paper. I guess it's just his medium accuracy, but like he looks good. I'm shocked he's a day 3 talent. Like he has 1 bad rating and that's it. That's crazy. Whatever though, that's besides the point. Well, not really. That was one of my points, but whatever. But the more interesting player is Mr. Cam Logan out of Ohio State, a top 5 talent projected to go between the 1st and 2nd rounds, who, by the way, has 4.37 speed. There are way too many fast QBs in Madden, like 4.4, 4.34 at his pro day. This guy's also insanely good. 1st round talent in the 3rd to 4th. I'm almost thinking about taking both of them and maybe trading Swain away for good value. I don't know. There were also a few more good players I really liked, like Hugh Pearson looks good for sure. Very good. Quincy Brooks and Antoine Groves look pretty good later. But the only question I have is, will Cam Logan fall to us at 23 or will we have to trade up? We could trade that 2nd round pick we got for JSN, but the only thing is, would this even be an upgrade? I mean, Sam Howell did well last year. That's the only thing. What if we just trade away our 2nd round pick because it's a little worse? Would we even need to trade up though? Like, not too many teams really need a QB, just the Bucks and I guess maybe the Falcons, maybe the Jets, but a lot of teams have good QBs. Probably the Rams would need one. Definitely Unfortunately, the Saints, they still have Derek Carr at 55 mil. Cut him. I feel like I've said this before about Derek Carr in this exact situation. You have 590K in cap. I think you have an easy solution there. God, Madden simulation logic is so good. Nothing wrong with it. I think I'm willing to risk Cam Logan not being available anymore, because even if we don't get him, we still have Sam Howell, and we could go with Emmett Swain in round 2 or 3. So we'll take the chance. We'll just skip to 23. If he went one pick before us, I would have been mad, but he is still available. Okay, Cam Logan, welcome to the team. He looks insane. Hidden dev, 96 throw power, 92 speed, 91 excel. Damn. I don't like number 19 for a quarterback. That's a receiver number to me, but we might change it. It might be different. We'll see. But now in the second round, I mean, we're looking pretty good. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Maybe one of the corners? What's Quincy Brooks' speed? 4.46, good speed, great excel. Alex Harris, speed check, great speed, solid excel. Ooh, C to F, man. Don't love that. Whoa, 25 bench reps for Justin Cherry. That's a crazy name. Antoine Groves looks really good. I might go with Antoine Groves. Maybe not yet. We'll take him later because he's a 3rd to 4th. Do we go with the other QB just for fun? Nah, that would just be a waste. Ooh, I was gonna take this guy, Derek Duval. He looks pretty good, but not with 4.55 speed. None of these receivers look that good. I'm sure there is a good one, but I don't know. I don't care. None that are like good enough to make any impact. I might go with Austin McDaniels just because. Also did no wait, I didn't focus scout this guy. Brent McDonald, I thought I was gonna. Pass rush could still be an issue, but he's gonna drop if we move him from DN to outside linebacker. That's the only problem. I mean, he does have power moves though. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we'll take him, whatever. We have a lot of picks. There are so many Washington State players in draft classes. It's insane. I mean, I'm happy to see it as a Washington State fan, but still. Normal dev, whatever. He's probably like a 72 overall on a good day. But now with the JSN pick, can't wait to throw this one away. Let's go with Antoine Groves. Very similar to the corner we took, I guess, was it last year or 2 years ago? I don't know, but either way, he is B zone and A to C man, and he's a man corner, so we're gonna assume that's at least a B. Let's take him. Did the other one have normal dev too, or was it the one with star dev? I don't know, but normal dev's disappointing, but I think he's a good player. I'm gonna guess a 79 overall, because I think that's what the other one was. And then here, let's go with Austin what's his name? Yeah, Austin McDaniels. Did I say something else the other time? Probably. But he looks decent. We definitely need depth on the O-line. It was horrible last year, so hopefully if someone is bad at the midseason, we can bench them. Hidden dev, 89 strength. Once again, I think we had a pretty good draft, so we'll take it. I am curious to see that quarterbacks overall, though. Okay, well, here's how we did in the draft. Cam Logan's decent. I thought he would be a little better, maybe. Well, I was hoping he would be a little better, but realistically, I thought he would be around a 79, which is cool. I mean, that's a great pick, obviously. It's just we already knew he was a top 5 talent, so it's not like a surprise. Let's give him number 9. Kind of goes hard. We'll go with number 9. 9's a good quarterback number. But Brent McDonald is a 74, probably going to be like a 71 at outside linebacker, so that wasn't a very good pick. But defensive ends are never as good as I think they're going to be. Oh, he only goes down to a 73. We'll take it. Groves is only a 76. That's disappointing. And then McDaniels is 74. My last pick, though, was pretty good. Demario Rutland, I think he had F deep route. Yeah, it's a 62, playing up to a whole 65, but everything else looked good, so that was definitely a good pick. I always like to look for slot receivers. And then the CPU, this was not a very good CPU draft class. This was a decent draft. Well, it was a good draft. Very good, actually. I mean, we got a top 5 player in the class who is a quarterback. Whoa. There was an 85 overall running back, Jordan Still, out of Michigan State, got taken by the Bengals. Damn. I mean, we're paying running backs a lot of money, so obviously I wasn't going to look for him. Running back is probably the position I draft the least. Either running back or maybe tackle, just because the interior guys are always better, except for like maybe very early on in the draft, like top 10 picks. But yeah, good draft. Really good, actually, even though we didn't hit any 80 overalls this year. But let's get into year 4 and let's see how the team's looking. But here's a look at the team heading into year 4. Is that what we're in? Let me check the year. Yeah, year 4. Looking really good. Already an 87 overall. I thought this was going to be a struggle, and it still could be soon, but I don't know, we're doing really well. We've also had some decent drafts, so that obviously helps, but it's gonna be interesting to see how this team does. I'm a little worried about how this team is gonna do because Tyron Smith, last year he was good for the Jets, but the year before he wasn't great. I guess that should be an upgrade over Charles Cross either way, though. I'm not sure how Tyler Algier is gonna do. Hopefully he'll be better than Jalen Warren was. We're gonna have a rookie QB, so that's always a question mark. And then I have no idea how our pass rush is gonna do. It should be amazing, but it probably won't be, I'll say that. Andrew Van Ginkel's kind of our one hope here. And even then, I don't know if he's gonna do like that insanely well, but hopefully good. But hey, either way, nothing I can do about that. My goal is to make a good team on paper. I guess I also try to make a team that'll play well, but it's just hard to predict in Madden. But let's get to the midseason point of year 4, and we will see how we do. All right, well, my suspicions were correct. We are 3-4. What's the problem? All right, well, this year it's our defense that's awful. We have the 31st pass D. We're 23rd for points per game allowed. I already saw some of our stats, but I didn't look that closely at the defense. I did see our O-line, which is horrible, so I'm surprised it's not our offense. But who's getting benched in the secondary? Why is Andrew Van Ginkel playing? I guess maybe those are not coverage pass deflections. Hopefully just bat downs. I mean, he can play coverage, but that's not where I want him. I wouldn't necessarily want him getting more pass deflections than Tariq Woolen or Devin Witherspoon, who has 0, by the way. Harvey Crawford has 0. All of our good overall secondary players have 0, and then our lowest overall, Josh Carson, has 6. I love how much overall matters in this game. For being a video game, this shit sure drives me insane. I can't even bench him because, of course, it's our highest overall players doing poorly. I don't know. We'll reassess at the end of the year. We might change our defensive playbook. We'll see how it finishes. And you know what? Just to be extra complainy, extra whiny, where does an 88 overall rank in the league? Probably not the best, but maybe. No, the Eagles have an 89. Okay. The Cowboys are tied at an 88. The Chiefs also have an 89, so we are a top 3 roster playing like a below average team. That's great. And who do we have to re-sign this year? Devin Witherspoon, that might be for the best. He's been pretty terrible. Well, at least this year, but at least last year he had 2 picks, 8 pass deflections. This year, 0 for both. Byron Murphy, that's tough. Christian Haynes, that's fine. Nwosu, that's fine. Okay, most of this is fine. The only one I really care about is Byron Murphy. But I think those are fixable problems. We'll have to see. Let's just get to the end of the year and we'll see how we finish. Okay, well, we do make the playoffs going 9-8. Still a horrible defense. We're going to change our defensive playbook, but our offense was really good. I don't trust it, though, because it was terrible last year. So I don't know where that leaves us. This might be the rare time where I transition the defense to a 4-3. I might be lame and go Bills playbook, but as I always say, it's like the one defensive playbook that's like pretty consistently good, at least from experience. You know what? You can get away with some pretty weird stuff in this game and actually have it work better sometimes. What if I leave this as a 3, like a base 3-4 and run the Bills defensive playbook? Would that run it more like a hybrid scheme? That might. It's gonna be weird, but it might work. Ooh, especially because Andrew Van Ginkel and Zadarius Smith both have hybrid experience. We'll see what that does. If it's bad, I mean, it couldn't really be much worse than what we had this year, so we'll take it. But Cam Logan was very good this year. 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns. The interceptions were a little high. Nice completion percentage, though. Tyler Algier ended up being decent. 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, 4.1 per carry. That's a lot better than he was at the midseason. He had like 3.7 yards per carry. But 1,300 yards for Chris Olave and 12 touchdowns. 1,000 for Metcalf, almost 1,000 for Ridley. Lots of passing. The blocking, honestly, was a lot better in the second half of the year, but Tyron Smith was still bad. And then Thaddeus Northcutt led the team with 114 tackles, TFLs, 16 for Murphy, 15 for Smith, 13 for Williams, 12 for Van Ginkel. And sacks, of course, were our problem this year. 7 for Williams, but only 5 for Murphy, or 5.5 for Murphy, 5.5 for Smith, 5.5 for Franks, 3 for Van Ginkel. Interceptions were cool. Josh Carson was really good. 3 for Northcutt, Kyron Northcutt, and Crawford. 2 for Woolen. What do we do? Well, hopefully our new defense fixes that. Brock Purdy MVP, that's kind of rare in this game. I'm glad it's rare. But no Seahawks. Actually, no, I lied. Chris Olave at number 10 for Offensive Player of the Year. That's cool. Nobody for Defensive Player of the Year, unsurprisingly. Was that? I thought that said Fabian Moreau. I don't know why. Again, I'm tired. But Cam Logan does win Offensive Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's huge, especially because he only has star dev, which can't complain too much about that. I mean, he was a late first-round pick. And then nobody up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Big shocker. But we are going to be taking on the Packers in the wild card, who are an 88 overall. We probably would be like a 90, 91 if we actually did as well as we should have. But when does that ever happen in Madden? But we have some decent upgrades, 3 starters, including Cam Logan. And we have a one last hurrah scenario. This is probably Tyron Smith, and to that I say, thank God. Get him out of here, if it wants to load. Okay, it is Tyron Smith. Good. At least I knew I literally called the problems. I said Tyron Smith is probably going to be a problem. I thought rushing would be a little more of a problem, but it still wasn't great. Cam Logan did better than I expected. He still did throw a lot of interceptions, but... And then, of course, sacks were an issue on defense. Big surprise there. So, yeah, I know this game too well, unfortunately. It's kind of just the same thing every year. We were actually 13th for total sacks. It's just, it probably should have been better with an average overall of what? An 86 for our D-line and outside linebackers, so... I don't know, whatever. I mean, I know every team has a higher overall pass rush here, but I think ours is better, or at least better than it performed. But anyways, enough complaining. Let's see if we can beat the Packers here. I can't really complain too much if we lose this game because they are an 88 overall. Like, it's close enough. Let's see what happens. I mean, we deserve it for the pain we've been through, but of course not. We lose 31-21. Oh, that means Tyron Smith is going to stick around. I'm just going to bench him for next year at least. Oh, no, he did retire. Good. But let's get into maybe the final offseason here. Again, we might do a year 6. I guess it depends on how we do this year. But big shocker. Hey, actually, that's the first time we've seen that Super Bowl in this rebuild. The Chiefs beat the Cowboys 35-17. Wasn't close. We've actually... Wait, we haven't had the same team in any of the Super Bowls here. That's crazy. I think we finally got rid of the Chiefs and Cowboys. I mean, I say we, like I did something about it, but it thankfully isn't the Super Bowl every year anymore, like it used to be. But of course, we do get an upgrade for Cam Logan. D. Ali is a crazy name. That's kind of cool. That would probably be the shortest name in the NFL. I saw a list of that recently. I think Joe Alt was like tied for the shortest name ever, or at least up there. I don't know, but I guess D. Ali would be tied for that now. But anyways, Cam Logan now up to an 83 and 85 with morale, and he does have superstar dev. If he didn't have it, I might have given it to him. I probably wouldn't have because people would have complained, but he deserves it. Ladarius Green, wasn't that a tight end for the Chargers? Let me see. I'm getting really sidetracked here. Yeah, tight end for the Chargers. He was pretty good. But of course, as for the players we are going to be losing this year, Devin Witherspoon, Byron Murphy, which, you know, we could bring them back. How did Witherspoon end up doing? 0 picks and 2 pass deflections as a 93 overall? Thanks, Madden. That's cool. But Byron Murphy we could bring back. We'll see. Everyone else, meh. I just realized we had 2 kickers. We had Cameron Dicker and Jason Myers, but whatever. Let's see what we can do in this maybe final free agent period. Oh, Aiden Hutchinson is here. I mean, that could fix our pass rush issues right here. That was hard to say. Pass rush issues. I think if we do get him, we would probably transition to a 4-3. I mean, he could play either, obviously, but I kind of just want to anyways. I think we're going to do that. Zadarius Smith got X Factor for some reason. Now down to an 80 overall, but oh, he had a lot of TFLs, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to change this to a 4-3. I like 4-3s more in Madden. I mean, it's kind of outdated. The NFL's more 4-2 now anyways, but whatever. We'll just go Bills defense. I know I'm boring, but most of the time it doesn't do... Well, not most of the time it doesn't do well, but sometimes it's very hit or miss. So it's not like it's broken like the Chiefs offense is. But I'll rearrange the defense and we'll see what we want to do in free agency. Okay, well, this is what we're going to try to do. We're going crazy here. We need to do better than 9 and 8, so we are going to go for Aiden Hutchinson, Chris Jones, Joe Tooney, and Ronnie Stanley. Just a small free agent class. I don't think we're going to get these 4. I think we'll get these 3. I feel like Aiden Hutchinson is going to go to the Patriots, though. I tried, though. I went very player-friendly. I had to up the offer more. I guess I could up it even more. I mean, we have the money. I guess we might as well, but I'm not going to be happy about it. God, dude. 5 years, 223. If he doesn't take that, I mean, I don't know. But let's see if these players want to sign. I also did want to sign a corner, but Devin Witherspoon is the best one available, and he's been pretty horrible. I mean, not horrible, but not worth the 22 mil per year he's asking. And we have corners, not great ones, but ones that have done better. But anyways, let's see if these 4 players want to sign. All 4 of them do sign. Really? Okay, we get Chris Jones, Joe Tooney, Ronnie Stanley. What? Aiden Hutchinson went to the Raiders? He took 3 years, 94, when we offered him 5 years, 223? All right, awesome, cool, that's great. That wasn't our biggest problem or anything. How does Hassan Reddick do in this game? I'm pretty sure he's horrible. Okay, yeah, not great. He gets a weird amount of TFLs, but the sacks, I don't trust it. He's gonna get like 2.5 for us. I'm not doing that. So pass rush very well could be an issue once again. We'll have to see. At least we got Chris Jones though, that's cool. But let's get to possibly the final draft here and we will see what we can do. But here we pick once again at number 19. That's just our pick for this rebuild. But I'm definitely thinking corner, it's our one maybe need. Like, we don't really have anything we need too bad anymore. I definitely do want a 6th good O-lineman. Actually, no, we already have McDaniels. I forgot we signed Joe Tooney, so our O-line could be fine. I still will add one more, but corner, we could maybe use one, so I do think we're gonna take one. We also do maybe need pass rush, but like, I don't know how fixable that is. That's just a Madden thing. I did focus scout Chris Farley. He doesn't look that good. He has good power moves and pursuit and tackle, but C block shed, C play rec. I'm good. Let's go with, there is Jalen Bruce later. Ooh, good speed, elite acceleration. D play rec though, I think I'll go with Ron Cooks. Skip the combine and his pro day. Great speed, good excel, great agility. A-man, B-zone, B-press, A to B awareness, C play rec. That's, C play rec doesn't sound good, but God, I don't know how much I've ever seen B play rec for a corner. I say that, now I'm gonna find one. No, like all of them are C or D or F. Oh, whoa. If this dude didn't have F play rec, A-man, A-press, day 3, I might take him anyways. But yeah, anyways, let's go with Ron Cooks out of Kansas. Sounds good. Hidden dev, if he had normal, I guess it wouldn't have mattered that much, but I still would have been annoyed. 93 speed, we'll take it. And then round 2, let's see if there is a decent pass rusher left. We could also look for a lineman, maybe a safety. Oh, Carlos Smith, what do you look like? Elite strength? Really good run defender. I don't know what his coverage is though. Okay, there aren't any good pass rushers left. Shocker. Wait, let's see if they're one of those weird undersized like 5'11" power rushers. Okay, no, unfortunately not, but gotta check. None of the guards look that crazy this year. Keontae Cobb looks decent. If that's even how you say that name, I don't know. Ooh, Duncan Gafford. Maybe the worst name I've ever heard, but elite speed, lots of elite traits. He's interesting. We might take him later too. There's some decent players late here. Let's just go with Cobb though. He has elite strength, 36 reps at the combine, 40 at his pro day. I feel like I've seen guards with a lot, not a lot higher bench reps, but higher bench reps only have great strength, but whatever. We'll take him. Hidden dev, 92 strength. I don't think he's anything great, but maybe like a 74. I don't know. We'll see. And then last pick here, let's go with, I don't even know. I don't know what I want to go with. We're kind of good. Oh, this guy looks really good. FFFF, 455 speed. Damn, I might have to take him. Wow, this, the crazy thing is he probably won't even be that bad. He looks really good after the catch and he's a playmaker type receiver, so he'll probably be decent. I'm not gonna take him, but some other team can feel free to. Let's go with a linebacker, Braden Rhodes, 1st to 2nd round talent, elite speed and acceleration. Sounds good. Hidden dev, 87 speed, 91 excel. We'll take it. But here's how we did in maybe our final draft. We did well. Ron Cooks, I thought he could be maybe a little better, but a 78, that's a good pick. 93 speed, 82 man. Sure, we'll take it. Will start for us this year. Keontae Cobb, 76 overall. He's better than I expected. Must have really good, yeah, 80 run block finesse. Just strong, 87 lead block, 85 impact block. And then Braden Rhodes is a 76 overall. He's really good. Won't play much, I don't think, but I guess could be our number 3 linebacker. We kind of just signed Ernest Jones and haven't used him yet, but I mean, we've had better players to be fair, or at least higher upside guys. And then I took Spencer Lewis. He's whatever. I thought he could be a little better. He's only a 72, which is fine, but 64 man or 64 zone, 58 play rec isn't exactly great. Does have 81 man, 79 press though, so I don't know. I feel like there's something we could do with him, but I don't know what. And then I took Will Noel. I thought he was weird because he looked like a blocking tight end, but was listed as a vertical threat. He's just not good. He had a run block, 65, but yeah, he's not a very good blocker or anything. That's cool. But let's get into possibly the final year here, and we will see how we're looking. Okay, we are looking pretty good heading into the final year here. Only an 86 overall though, which is a little surprising. Oh, I guess we just really don't have the corners anymore. That's probably what's holding us back, and our defensive ends aren't great, but I'm hoping this defense will outperform that overall. overall. That's a lot to ask when we were the, 28th defense last year for points per game. We'll see what happens. But this offense is pretty good. 89 overall. Really, cap space never became an issue. We just went with different players for the most part. We were able to keep a few players like DK, Noah Fant, Abe Lucas, and then a couple on defense like Leonard Williams, Tariq Woolen, but for the most part, this is an entirely different team. This could be a disappointing year, but I mean, what even is a disappointing year at this point? We were 9-8 last year with the third best roster in the league, so we'll see what happens. We could do great. We could do poorly. I'll get to the midseason, but I will see y'all at the end of year number 5. But here is a look at the team at the end of year number 5, and again, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe. I'm sure I'm annoying, but whatever. It very much helps out the channel more than you could imagine. I would appreciate it. And again, if we get to whatever I set the like goal to, I will do something very similar to this again. So if y'all enjoy it, be sure to leave a like. And subscribe for more. All I do is rebuilds. Y'all know the drill. And let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down below, because if I use your suggestion, I'll give you a shout out. But we are now up to a 92 overall offense and 87 defense. And in the final year of this rebuild, we finished 14-3, which is a little surprising because at the midseason, we were only 3-3. And right before the bye week, we got smoked by the Rams, but we didn't lose another game after the midseason. So I would say we did pretty well in the second half of the year. But let's go over the season stats super quick. Cam Logan was insanely good. Okay, that was to get a quarterback of this caliber at the end of the first. Where did we pick him? Like 23? Yeah, pick 23. I don't know why I remember the exact number, but I do. Yeah, to get him there, that's insane. 35 touchdowns, 4 picks, 73 completion percentage, 4,400 yards, almost 120 passer rating. Tyler Algier was decent, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 4 per carry, but he was decent. Almost 1,400 yards for Olave, 12 touchdowns, 1,000 yards for DK, 9 touchdowns. Ridley and Fant were fine. The blocking was insanely good. I benched Gilmore at the midseason for McDaniels at center, and McDaniels did much better. Allowed about the same amount of sacks and about double the amount of snaps, so that's a win. Abe Lucas I've had rebuilds where he's been horrible. He's been maybe our best player for this rebuild. He's been averaging like 4 sacks allowed at tackle. I mean, if you ignore the first year, but even then 7, I've had much worse. But yeah, he's been crazy good. And then Kyron Northcutt led the team with 125 tackles, TFLs, 13 for Chris Jones, 12 for Leonard Williams and Zadarius Smith, 10 for Kyron Northcutt, but sacks 14.5 for Leonard Williams. I mean, we'll take that. That's cool. 11 for Andrew Van Ginkel, 5 for Zadarius Smith. Overall, doesn't matter. Chris Jones had 4 sacks. I hate this game. At least we did well, but that's yeah. And then interceptions, 1 for 6 different players. That was still an issue. We might bench a secondary player. Harvey Crawford has been awful. He's been so bad. I mean, well, no, I take that back. I forgot. He's gotten picks, but I feel like whenever I check our performance at the midseason, he's horrible. I guess he bounced back in the second half of the year, the last 2 years, but this year he didn't bounce back, at least in terms of coverage stats. I don't know. I'm not going to bench him because he's like a 90-something, but still. Brockers hasn't been great at safety. Woolen was horrible this year. Whatever. Skill issue. My fault, I guess. Oh, we have a Dak MVP. That's what I wanted to see. Cam Logan at number 5, though. That's huge. Did I say, wait, what did that say? Okay, I saw those backwards somehow. I thought it said Jordan Love on the Bills and Josh Allen on the Packers. Again, I'm tired. Let me reiterate that. But Cam Logan at number 7 for offensive player of the year. Chris Olave at 8. Defensive player of the year. Leonard Williams at 5. I thought he would be a little higher, but we'll take it, I guess. Nobody up there for offensive rookie of the year, and I doubt anyone for defense. Oh, no, Ron Cooks at number 6. I guess we'll take that. So no awards, maybe like individual awards. Did we get any? Chris Olave number 2 for best receiver. Of course, we get cucked. Okay, no. But in the playoffs, we are going to be taking on the Carolina Panthers, which shout out TFG, that franchise guy. I'm literally watching his deep dive for the Carolina Panthers right now. I watch an unhealthy amount of YouTube when I do these, but go subscribe to him if you haven't already. He's a goat. I've been watching him for like 7 years. That's crazy. But I don't know how much faith I have for this game. I think we're gonna lose, honestly. It looks like the Panthers weren't that good. They had a really good defense. Number 3 for yards. Number 3, they had 43 sacks. That doesn't bode well for us. I mean, we had a good O-line, though, this year, at least. Their offense really isn't good, though. 23rd for yards, 14th for points. That's fine. They don't have that good of an offense on paper, either. They only have an 85 overall, so we'll see what happens. just to stall, because I think we're gonna lose, because I think this is gonna be the final game. Where does an 89 rank in the league? Probably not the best, of course, but maybe like third-ish. The Packers have a 90. The 49ers have a 90. We're tied with the Falcons. The Eagles have a 90. The Cowboys have a 90. The Chiefs have a 90. Damn, we got passed up. So we're like tied for 6th-ish. Of course, we overperform now. I mean, I guess I can't complain, but I wish we wouldn't have underperformed last year, because if we did better, we could have developed more and then actually deserved this 14-3, but whatever. That's nitpicky, I guess. But let's simulate this game against the Carolina Panthers. I'm scared. Derek Brown had 69 tackles. Nice. And that is gonna do it, unfortunately. We get upset by a team with a worse overall, with a worse record. Same old story as always in this game, unfortunately. But hey, I think we did pretty well for what we had to do here in the basically overpaying everyone challenge. This team is pretty good. I mean, definitely not my best work in terms of overall, but 89 at the end of this isn't bad, especially when we were kind of sacrificing overall for hopefully better performing players. Even though I guess that kind of worked. We went 14-3, so I don't know if we won a playoff game in this entire rebuild now that I think about it, but I tried. We deserved to. But again, if you enjoyed, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all already know the drill. Again, 2,500 likes. I should remember that. I don't. 3,000, whatever it is. Like the video. But expect something fun on Tuesday. I forgot about that. I'm going to be doing a fun video on Tuesday that I think y'all will really enjoy. It's something a little different. I think it'll come out Tuesday. I might do something. We'll see. I'll do it at some point. But also subscribe to the second channel. I'm doing realistic rebuilds over there. I've kind of stopped doing them here just because there isn't. I'd rather do goofy rebuilds here and realistic on the second channel. I'm rebuilding every team, so link in the description to that. But all right, that's enough plugging. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.